Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Tag Team Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Tartaglione, joined with my brother, Johnny Tartaglione, and the Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl 60 champions in an absolute, I think the two words I can use is ass-kicking.
Yeah, that game was never even really close, even though the final score reflected it to maybe have been a game, but the Patriots were literally dormant like a bear in the wintertime until the fourth quarter. Seattle's defense just absolutely stymied anything New England had to throw their way. And it's right up there with the boringness level of the Rams-Patriots Super Bowl a couple of years ago when it was a 13-3 final.
I think when we look back on it in a year from now, that's going to be the debate. What was the most boring Super Bowl of all time? Because
this was a bad one. I mean, this was bad. 9-0 at halftime. Both offenses had nothing to offer for us. A lot of punts. Dixon was it Dickinson? Who's Seattle's punter? Yeah, Dixon. Dixon was a freaking beast, man. Every time I looked up, the Patriots were pinned inside the 5-yard line. I think he did that at least 3 times last night. And he had a total of 7. He had 7 total punts for 335 yards. That's insanity.
It's a boot.
Yeah, I mean, and the Patriots punter had 356 yards worth of punting. So it was just an absolute punt off with Jason Myers getting the most field goals in a Super Bowl in Super Bowl history, right? I think he had 5 total, 5 for 5.
Yeah.
So accounting for 15 of Seattle's 29 points, and then the defense accounting for one of Seattle's touchdowns that they scored. So just overall, the offense was pretty much god-awful both ways. Kenneth Walker was really good, I will say that. He was the only reason Seattle had anything going. I think he totaled pretty close to he had 135 rushing yards, and he added 26 receiving yards. So a great day for Kenneth Walker, absolute workhorse on 27 carries. And Sam Darnold, all Sam Darnold did was just not lose them the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many factions you can break this game down into, and I do want to kind of get into that instead of just, a kind of a general overview. Let's just go to the first quarter for a perfect example. Seattle's first drive, long, daunting. I said it last week. Those first 20 plays are going to be so important. And you made the counterpoint that, they're going to come out timid. And we got to see it. Seattle had that long drive that ended in a field goal.
The pass to Cup that was incomplete. Call completed.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that game being 3-0, 6 minutes in with a 6-minute drive, you already knew we're bound for a snooze fest. Because you look at the clock ticking as much as it did last night. You look up and you'd be like, holy shit, it's already the middle of the second quarter and there's nothing happening. Like, every single time there was a third down yesterday, it was almost like the coaches were too scared to call a play that's going to draw something up. They tried to take some shots early. Sam Darnold almost threw a pick. It got tipped right near a Patriots defender.
The player was Sheet Shahid.
Yeah.
And the play where he overthrew JSN, which was an abysmal.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. He almost hit JSN for 75 yards. That would have gotten the offensive.
No, it was 90-plus yards. They were on the 6-yard line, right? I mean, it was at least an 80-plus yard touchdown. He had him butt-ass naked. Nobody was even close to JSN. That was the most wide open he will ever be the rest of his career.
Yeah. So there was points in that game last night where the offense could have gotten ignited. But it was sloppy football. There's no other way to put it. And that's on the offensive side of the ball. It's crazy because on the complete opposite side of the end, the defensive side of the ball was the most locked I've ever seen. If you like defense, you loved last night's game because you saw some incredible defensive play, not only from Seattle but also from New England. I mean, you look at the play, the 2 plays by Gonzalez to break up the Shahid pass, like you just said, and then right before the end of the half, where JSN could have probably had a touchdown there going into halftime, and he almost picked it off, hit him in both 2 hands.
Yeah.
So I mean,
New England's defense was never the problem. Everybody that was watching that game knew. Seattle had 12 points going into the fourth quarter. If you would have said to anybody that Seattle only has 12 points going into the fourth quarter, you're like, holy shit, New England has a chance to win this game. When they absolutely never had a chance to win the game, which is absurd. It's absurd to me. But you're right. The defense all around was great. Seattle had 6 total sacks, which is crazy. But we always knew that New England's offensive line was the problem. Will Campbell is going to be shit on for the next month and a half. He was not prepared to play left tackle in this game. And No, maybe not in general. He might be a guard. He may not be a left tackle overall. So we'll see. And his effort on that fumble was piss poor.
It's like Cam Newton.
It's like the Cam Newton play.
It's like
exactly.
the Cam Newton play.
I think everybody thought the same thing. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You are the starting left tackle for the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. You're probably the reason the fumble was caused because your guy blew by you, and then the ball's laying on the ground right in front of you. You can't even dive for it. Are you fucking kidding me?
You know, he gave up the most pressures out of any offensive lineman all NFL season last night. At any offensive lineman, and you're telling me there's some abysmal offensive lines out there. The most pressures, I think it was 14 all season. How bad can you be? And you got to look at it. And it was so funny because at the very beginning of the game, NBC pulled up the graphic that was like, first time an NFL team has had 2 rookies on the offensive line. I'm like, you just set Drake May up for the biggest hunk of failure of all time, and it capitalized. 6 sacks, most pressures given up. Drake May, horrible game, abysmal game. He played bad. But it's not 100% his fault.
No, I mean, it never is.
His O-line was fucking booty.
Listen.
Booty.
As a 180-pound male who is very, I'm in shape, I resemble nothing close to an offensive lineman. So I'm not going to sit here and talk like I know anything about playing offensive line. I'm just not going to do that. But it was shit. It was shit offensive line play from the Pats last night. I'm not going to sit here and shit on a rookie either in Will Campbell. He did have a poor playoffs.
He had a good season.
He had a poor playoffs. But that's not saying he's a terrible player. He could always bounce back. And like I said, I don't know shit about the offensive line.
Well, he was
offensive
injured.
Tackles
he was injured for a while.
Because I think it's maybe besides quarterback, I think left tackle might be the toughest position in the NFL. Just think about all the edge rushers in the league that are absolutely disgusting, coming in with quick and powerful moves off the edge, and you have no idea where they're going. And you have to somehow block them without holding them. In which case, how quick is a referee to, call a holding call in an NFL game nowadays? They're quick to call it. It happens. We saw it last night. It cost me a lot of money, but we'll talk about that later. But you're right. Drake May, going back to that point, Drake May looked very solid all year. I think he had something like 70-plus completion percentage, right? And I think in a lot of these games, he was more relaxed because the opponents that they were playing were not great. We talked about the schedule. But in this game, he absolutely defined the deer in the headlights look. I don't know.
He had the Sam Darnold game.
He was seeing ghosts. The ghost got transferred to Drake May tonight. And it was just, he was not finding the check down at all. Seattle was bringing the blitz. Seattle was rushing for most of the game. But when they brought the corner blitz, like Witherspoon got in the backfield multiple times. And when they brought that blitz, Drake May had no idea what to do. There were several times where he had the check down. He had Hunter Henry in the flat. He had Ramondre Stevenson in the flat. Just take the 4 to 5 yards. Instead, he was looking for the downfield shots like he liked to do all season. And then, boom, defender right in his face. He was coming.
Yeah. The thing was, New England was never out of this game. Not even at the end of the third quarter.
Yes, they were. They were always out of this game. That was the point I just made.
I don't think they were always out of this game. No, I'm saying they were two pass plays away from being right back in it.
But 2 pass plays might as well have been climbing Mount Everest for that team last night.
But what I'm saying is, AJ Bourne, first touchdown of the game was not scored until 12 minutes and 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
You're in the game.
On paper, On paper, you're in the game. Sure. But were they in the game? No, they were not in the game. They had no chance. At what point in time did you watch that game last night and actually think, New England might actually have a shot?
Right
never thought that.
Right when A.J. Barner scored the touchdown, New England came down and had a minute and a half drive and scored a touchdown to make it 19-7. Then Seattle got pushed 3 and out and they punted the ball. When the Patriots got the ball back at midfield, mind you, the punt went back to midfield. I'm like, holy shit, they are 50 yards away right now. And there was still 8 minutes left in the game. I'm like, they are 1 drive away right here from cutting this to a 5-point game. And it's right in it. And guess what Drake May does? He throws it to 3 Seattle defenders.
That was the worst
not
pass.
Even close.
That might have been the worst pass in Super Bowl history.
And there was 2 minutes of that entire game that I thought, wow, New England may have a chance. Okay. And Drake May cooked it.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
My other point is I had the Patriots plus 4.5. I was all over that. And I knew right off the rip, when I'm seeing the fucking punt, everything's punt, I'm like, Jesus, dude. I was like, They looked very ill-prepared on offense. I think that was Mike Vrabel's worst coaching performance of his career.
Yeah, but Daniels is calling the plays on offense.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
it does matter. If you're the one calling the plays.
Of course. But you're the head coach of the football team. You're preparing the offensive scheme for the whole week. You're running through everything in practice. I understand McDaniels was calling the plays, but a lot of the plays weren't the problem. It was the preparation for the Seattle defense in total, and it was all piss poor. Drake May seemed like he had no idea what he was getting into. We already talked about the offensive line. The only receiver that produced anything significant in the game for the Patriots was Matt Collins, right? He had the touchdown catch. Stephon Diggs, we didn't hear shit from him until he caught that 20-plus yard pass in garbage time. I mean, what other Patriots? I mean, Demario Douglas had a couple passes early, but what else did we see from the Patriots offense? We saw nothing. Ramondre Stevenson had a decent first quarter, but besides the fact, it was pure dog shit.
The fact that Matt Collins was their best offensive player last night amazes me.
Not even close.
It amazes me.
It's like, so Demario Douglas had 5 receptions. Ramondre Stevenson had 5 receptions. And other than that, nobody had more than 3 receptions. Stephon Diggs had the one catch for 26 yards, like I said. Stephon Diggs was 3 for 37 with a long of 26. So that means besides take that one booty time catch out, he's 2 for 9. Like, what are we doing, man? You're supposed to be the number one. Somebody's supposed to be the number one on the Patriots, and it's not supposed to be the guy that walked in fresh from Alcatraz. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're not wrong. And here's the other crazy thing. On the flip side of it, JSN had a dog shit game. And I know he was out, he was hurt,
he was hurt.
Concussed.
He was concussed.
He's got the tape.
He was concussed.
Yeah,
any regular season game,
stars.
he's out.
He was seeing stars.
And not to mention, if you're a wide receiver, this is just talking about JSN. If you're a wide receiver, your quarterback has to make an accurate throw to you. JSN, with one throw, could have been over 100 yards with a touchdown. If Sam Darnold places that pass where it's supposed to be in the first quarter, all of JSN's overs hit. Instead, he had a shit game. But if he catches that one pass, if Sam Darnold puts it in his chest like he should have, then it's a different story. Instead we're talking about JSN having 4 receptions for 27 yards. When really, it should have been 5 for 115 and a touchdown. Way different stat line based off one play.
One play is what matters. Got to catch the ball. And I know it's on the quarterback.
Got to catch the ball. I could have thrown a better pass than that. Sam Darnold overthrew him by fucking 12 yards.
What I'm saying is that for it to count as a catch, you got to catch the ball.
Yeah, no fucking shit, but I'm just making the point that the quarterback also has to make a good throw.
Yeah.
Still. He can't go fucking Michael Jordan in Space Jam. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
So, and that was also the case for Drake May too. There was that play late in the game where it was 3rd and 5 or 2nd and 5, and they were on their own 10. And I think he had either Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry, who's one of the tight ends, wide open 15 yards up the field and just missed him. It was just a missed layup.
Yeah.
It was a missed layup. So there were times in the game where you could point to both teams and been like, the execution here was very poor. And the Seahawks were just the team that capitalized, and they capitalized with their defense.
It's just crazy that we're talking about the reason this game was even how it is because of piss poor play. Like, there's not one thing that we can really dial in on offensively besides Kenneth Walker that's like, damn, that was good. And Kenneth Walker had a good game, but it's not blow your socks off. There was no blow your socks off game from anybody offensively. And when it comes down to Seattle's defense, this is what sucks about when it comes to the MVP. Obviously, Kenneth Walker won MVP. He had the best offensive performance. But there's no, I feel like somebody on Seattle's defense should have won MVP.
But it was their defense as a whole. It's so hard. You can't name the defense.
That's what I said. That's why the MVP. That's why the
MVP.
MVP award is kind of hard. It's hard to jump on,
yeah.
And it always favors offensive because that's what gets the votes.
How you know that New England should especially be kicking themselves because Sam Darnold did not win MVP? Because that just means they beat themselves. They didn't get beat because. They did get beat. They got beat because their offense was shit and the defense on Seattle was really good. But Sam Darnold did not beat them. The offense for Seattle did not necessarily beat them. Yes, it did. But in hindsight, this was not how the game was pictured that it was going to go. from a New England, from a New England fan's standpoint.
Yeah, well, I mean, Seattle's kicker scored more points than the Patriots.
I know,
just so you know.
I know,
and
that's why New England should be kicking themselves.
And he also finished with the most points scored by any player in NFL history this season.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold finished with 19 for 38 with 200 yards and a touchdown. You know, I mean,
and a touchdown, you couldn't miss that pass.
You could have. You missed one early.
Barner was ass spanking open.
If you looked at both QB stat lines and said who won this game, without watching the game, you just look. I mean, Drake May, yes, had the 2 interceptions, but Drake May almost had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Dude, you know what's crazy? He had 56 passing yards in the middle of the third quarter.
I know.
He turned it up late, but he was just throwing into the wrong color jersey.
Too little, too late.
Well, he was just throwing into the wrong color jersey.
He was. You're right. It was. And this was a terrible Super Bowl too. The fact that this game only came 2 points from the total was absolutely crazy, considering the fact that it was 9-0 at halftime. The total was 45.5, right?
Yeah.
Finished with what, 42 total points?
Yeah, 42.
42?
The live total at some point was 25. I was looking at.
Yeah, it was like 25, 27.
I bet the under, and I lost.
But that's what a pick six gets you, and that's what a 1 minute drive gets you. It gets you right back. They had 30 total points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know. But this Super Bowl was god-awful for most player props. We're absolutely dead, especially New England player props. Those were straight in the shitter. Seattle, I mean, Kenneth Walker, but a lot of people's bets were not necessarily on Kenneth Walker yards. I think they were on Kenneth Walker touchdown. A lot of people, I know a shit ton of people had JSN touchdown. A lot of people had JSN receptions, receiving yards. You know, all the big-name players that you bet in this game, the props didn't hit, and that really fucking sucks for a Super Bowl, because when all eyes in America are on the Super Bowl, you just want to see a fun and exciting game. You want to see the best players in the NFL performing at the highest level, and we didn't get that, and we got a boring game. We didn't even get a game where, it's coming down to the wire, like, holy shit, either team can win this game. We didn't even get that.
So I want to get back to the betting in a second, but I do want to make a side note. What's the correlation between the last 5 Super Bowls and this Super Bowl? They haven't really been as boring as this one was, correct?
Last year was a lot of points, but it was a boring game.
But I'm saying offense was there.
Yeah, offense. Player props.
People won money.
I made that point yesterday. I made that point yesterday.
So what's the correlation here? Where's the common denominator? Who was the quarterback in the AFC the last 5 Super Bowls?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
So when it comes down to it, Patrick Mahomes not being in the Super Bowl, bad game. Last time, before he wasn't in the Super Bowl, bad game. The last 2 Super Bowls that Patrick Mahomes has not played in have been shitters.
Well, no, the Joe Burrow Super Bowl was good.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow. Yeah, the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl was very fun. That was actually a very fun game.
So that was the last one.
I know it was a fun game because that was one of the.
Joe Burrow had a chance to freaking win the game.
I had T. Higgins 2+ touchdowns in that game. That's how you know. You get a secondary receiver with a 2+ touchdown ticket. That's how you know it's a fun Super Bowl. Yeah. And I'll never forget Pulse 900. I'll never forget that bet because it was probably one of the highest odds bets I ran. But that was a very fun game. And that was probably the most fun game we've had since the overtime.
Yeah, Niners, Chiefs.
That's what you said. I was getting to it since the overtime.
Nicole Hartman. But what I'm saying is that Mahomes is the factor. He's a fun player. He makes it happen. Drake May, he ain't an entertainer.
How much more fun is this game if we have Josh Allen?
So much more fun.
Is Josh Allen able to dice up this Seattle defense a little bit more? Because here's what I'm thinking too. Seattle's defense is so nasty, right? Their D-line is getting to Drake May. They had 6 sacks. Is part of that not that New England's wide receivers are pretty washed up? I mean, Stephon Diggs obviously past his prime. Mac Hollins and Demario Douglas are probably both number 3, number 4 receivers on most teams. I would beg to differ. And it's like, if your receivers aren't getting open, you know, how much of that is on the quarterback as well? I don't know. I'm not a football analyst. But I feel like that's also part of the problem too, when you don't have the weapons on the outside to produce that aren't creating the space on their own. You know, I think that's an issue too. I mean, we saw it in the playoffs. What's the most points the Patriots scored in the playoffs? They scored 28 against Houston? But that was also because C.J. Stroud had 5 turnovers. If you have 5 turnovers of a game and you don't score 20 plus points, you're a fucking loser team. You don't deserve to be anywhere. Other than that, they scored 16 in their first game and they scored 10 in the AFC Championship game. And then they have 13 here in the Super Bowl. So it's obvious that yes, the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. They had an easier schedule to get there. That's not that's been discussed on this podcast and on probably any other sports podcast in America. But was this team really a Super Bowl roster? I don't know. They're in the Super Bowl, and that
Super
might
Bowl
be
defense.
This defense is very good.
You want to know what my conclusion is, though?
I don't know.
The NFL needs Patrick Mahomes. They do. My conclusion is that the Chiefs being there is obviously going to make it more important, more fun. Because there's no fucking way the laughingstock that team just put on the field last night is going to be worth a damn for the near future.
You know what? To play into that, I did just make the point that Drake May didn't really have the receivers. Patrick Mahomes did go to the Super Bowl after Tyreek Hill left the team. And he did have Travis Kelce. And who's the best receiver besides that? Rashee Rice?
Mecole Hardman?
No, Rashee Rice is a good wide receiver. But still, I mean, there's options available. And I think that for this Patriots team, this is a tough pill to swallow because obviously you were not on the same level as the Super Bowl winning team. That was proven. You got to the Super Bowl, yes. But could this also be comparable to the Commanders last year? Like, it's like, holy shit, the Commanders are in the NFC Championship. Nobody expected them to be there. And they get smoked, and then they have the year like they had this year.
I'll ask you this.
Are they actually a 4-13 team? Are they closer to the 4-13? Or are they closer to the Super Bowl level team? We're going to find out next season when the Patriots have to go through a first place schedule.
I'm sorry to Lions fans. You can close your ears if you want. But when you look at it, the most impressive win out of both of those teams throughout their respective playoff runs last year and this year was that Lions. The Commanders just smoking the shit out of the Lions.
I mean, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to sit here and compare playoff wins. That's not what I'm here to do because that's hard to do. I mean, the Patriots.
Maybe a more impressive win.
The Patriots beating the Texans was a good win. C.J. Stroud did play like shit, but the Texans defense was a really good defense. And honestly, if the Texans beat the Patriots, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, they're playing the Broncos without Stidham, and we very easily could have had the Texans in the Super Bowl if C.J. Stroud was just halfway. If C.J. Stroud played a D-plus game, they're probably in the Super Bowl.
You know he cut all his hair off?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that.
He got the haircut. He's coming back new man next year.
I don't give a fuck about
He chopped off the locks.
I don't care.
New year, new him.
That doesn't mean shit to me. So the takeaway from this is really this wraps up a very interesting year for the NFL.
Capped off with a piece of dog shit on top.
I mean, congratulations to the Seahawks. Very great fans, very loyal fan base. They got the Mariners who had a heartbreaking year this past season. But to turn around and win the Super Bowl, I think that heals pretty much all of them. But Sam Darnold, fucking Super Bowl champion, is got to be up
crazy
there
since Nick
in
Foles.
The most wild comebacks. I'm saying wild
comebacks,
sports comebacks from where you look at a player who had no chance of doing anything with his career and to turn it around like this after the amount, I mean, he was 2018 draft class, right?
Mm-hmm. First one went out of Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and Lamar Jackson.
To turn it around after 8 seasons, I mean, at that point, for most quarterbacks, your career is halfway over, right?
Yeah.
So, no, congratulations to him, Kenneth Walker, great game, and just the whole Seattle defense. You got to give it up to them. Cooper Kupp winning Super Bowl number 2, he had a good game as well.
Yeah. So, can we get back to the betting now? Because
we got some betting stories that were just absolutely fucking disgusting.
So let's talk about abysmal player props, right? Let's just talk about abysmal player props.
Talk about abysmal everything.
No. Abysmal player props, like horrendous beats.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold, his rushing yard total was 5.5.
Oh, that was really bad.
He had 11 rushing yards,
and
he decided to run backwards and take a loss of 7 yards for his under to hit,
which is really a stupid play. I didn't understand that.
Third down.
What was the point of that? I never really understood. I've never seen a play where I could see if you run backwards to get it under.
Sam Darnold had some dark horse bookie who bet his under in rushing yards.
That was just a wild play.
Yeah.
Wild.
For him to run backwards like that, it was, and I'm like, that's abysmal. Number 2, abysmal. The most bet touchdown score in the entire game was Kenneth Walker.
Oh, I don't want to talk.
Dude bust loose for 45 yards. I bet Kenneth Walker touchdown. I'm sure a lot of people did. There was probably a lot of money on the line there. I started going nuts. I'm like, let's go. Holding call. Comes back. Would have sealed this deal, made his MVP stats look way even better. Would have made the over hit. So the over lost because of it. And Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown, whiffed.
I lost a good amount of money on that because that play made me want to fucking puke. I have a 4-leg parlay, very good odds. I'll even put the screenshot up on the Instagram. You guys can see for yourselves. It was Ramondre Stevenson first half, 30 plus combined rushing receiving.
Which that was a fat finger on your end.
Fat finger, didn't mean to do that. It was Ramondre Stevenson anytime touchdown. What was the third leg? I can't even fucking remember. It doesn't matter. And then the last leg was the Kenneth Walker touchdown. And when it was getting late in the game, I was like, oh, I'm kind of screwed because Ramondre Stevenson hadn't even scored. And then all of a sudden, Ramondre Stevenson gets that touchdown late, and I'm like, oh shit. But there was only, 4 minutes left? And it was getting close to the 2-minute warning. I'm like, oh my gosh. If Kenneth Walker busts one here, I win this parlay. And sure enough, there he goes. Bust through gap. There he goes. I'm fucking jumping up and down. I'm going nuts. Because not only did I have that parlay, I had the Super Bowl square of Seattle 6, Pats 3. Score at the time was 29-13. And if the Seahawks score a touchdown, kick the extra point, it's 36-13. Hence, Seattle has the 6. Patriots had the 3. So I lost out on the Super Bowl square and the parlay. All because the referees got horny to call a motherfucking holding. When the game was done, didn't matter. If you're the ref, you gotta let that go. You gotta let that go for the people of America because everyone's got the over. Everyone's got Kenneth Walker touchdown. And you could boost the stats of the game in total, especially for Kenneth Walker, who won the MVP anyways. So everything about that call was fucking disgusting. The ref should be ashamed of himself. The ref had the under in the game. He had no Kenneth Walker touchdown. And you know what? Shame on you. I hope you piss your bed tonight when you sleep. That's all I'm going to say. I've never gotten my heart pounding so hard because I'm so excited, and then just to get it ripped out like that was brutal. Because, not to mention, I got my gums wiped with dog shit the entire game from all the bets I lost. I didn't hit a single bet last night.
Not one?
Not one. My slate...
I think you bet heads.
No, I didn't bet dick. I didn't bet... No winners. No winners. All losers. I took all outs last night. I might as well have been a fucking Patriots fan.
Yeah, that is brutal.
That is.
And you know what's bad? I wrote Patriots with you. But
you know what sucks? Is we're sitting at lunch yesterday. I'm watching the Knicks kick the Celtics' ass. Silver lining of the day. And you look at me, you go, A.J. Barner first touchdown. I'm never wrong on first. And I go, oh, cool.
I've hit 4 out of the last 5.
And then you and Dad were talking, we're like, oh, Hunter Henry. And I'm like, oh, Hunter Henry sounds good. I throw it in my slip. I forgot to put A.J. Barner in. I only put Hunter Henry. So I didn't even hit that. Everyone in the room's going, all cousins, everyone's on A.J. Barner.
Because I walked in.
Wiping my ass with a fucking Hunter Henry ticket.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. So you know what?
To be fair, Dad
I'm done. The
the
sportsbook apps are off my phone. I'm officially fucking retired until March Madness, which is in a couple weeks. But I'm done. I quit. I'm going to take my fucking Social Security. I'm going to take my retirement funds. I'm done. I'm calling it. Every sportsbook app, boom, deleted. Done.
Off the phone.
I'm leaving the gambling group chat too.
No, you're not.
Leaving.
No, you're not. You're not leaving.
I'm keeping it.
You already have it on D&D.
Keeping it on D&D.
You already have it on D&D.
Keeping it. And I do have the $50 bonus bet, so we're gonna roll that. But that's it.
What from the live beans?
From the referral that we did.
Oh yeah,
that's it for me.
Oh, I forgot I got that.
I was so piss poor to the fact where I tried to play both sides, and I still lost money. I signed up for a new book that gave me $1,000 back if my bet lost, and I was like, oh cool, I'm just gonna bet $1,000 on both sides, and I'm just gonna pay the juice. And maybe my side will lose on the book where I'm going to get the $1,000 in bonus bets. But fuck ass me, played the game wrong, lost the juice, didn't get the bonus bets, wiped my ass with everything else, and fuck this game, fuck the NFL. I'm done. Season over. Giants stink. Can't even tank. Patriots let me down. I had Patriots plus 4.5. And you know what? Congrats. At least Peyton lost Ultimate Trio. At least I didn't blow that. That's the only. I just went on a hefty rant.
That was a hefty rant.
I got fucking pissed off.
I was still talking about A.J. Barner for his touchdown.
When you brought up A.J. Barner, it just pissed me off because I knew I had that in the slip. And then
We
you know
all
what?
bet it. The whole family.
You know what
bet it.
happened?
Besides you and Dad.
You know what happened? My double cheeseburger came out yesterday. Right, I was in the bet slip.
Oh.
That's what happened.
So yeah, blame
and
the
I got
fucking.
distracted.
I'm gonna blame
the cheeseburger.
Blame the fucking double cheeseburger for you not.
And you know what? Fuck the Celtics. At least the Knicks won. Good day for me.
I bet AJ Barner. I won a good amount of money on it. I still lost money because I lost pretty much every other bet.
AJ Barner, good bet.
I do want to talk about this other bet I saw online. This dude bet Man City against Liverpool yesterday.
Okay.
Game was a sweater, by the way.
I don't know shit about soccer.
But I'm saying, if you watch the end of the game, we never talk about soccer on this podcast, but this is a little soccer moment. The game was a sweater. Liverpool had like 6 chances to tie it. And they fucking Man City, the goalkeeper went nuts, made some hell of a saves.
I did see the replay.
Man City ended up winning 2-1.
That shit was like,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
like the one
yeah,
hand.
Yeah, it was the one hand. Yeah, like
was sick.
like
Sick,
Michael
sick.
Jordan in Space Jam. Yeah,
have no idea who the fuck the goalkeeper was.
But that was the first leg of a 2-leg parlay that somebody placed. 25,000 to win 425 grand. You know what the other leg was? Seattle defensive touchdown.
Some people are
This
disgusting.
dude,
Some people are sick in the head.
This dude won $462,000 and 500. 462, 500 for fucking Man City sweater parlay, and in that game was a sweat. And Seattle defense scores with like 6 minutes left in the game. You want to talk about fucking
people are sick. People are ill. That's
Ill.
a disgusting bet. And you know what? Let me say this. I was 3 plays away from being in the green 30 units. Isn't that nuts to think about?
That is
3 plays. 3 plays away because the Kenneth Walker touchdown would have gotten me the square and the parlay. I had a parlay where I had A.J. Barner touchdown, Drake May pick, Sam Darnold pick. Drake May threw the pick, happily, threw 2 of them. Sam Darnold throws that play to Christian Gonzalez. Butterfingers. Right through it on the goal line, remember?
Yep.
He had it. Christian Gonzalez had it in his hands. If he hangs on to that, I cashed that parlay. And then all I needed, my first quarter bet, I needed 1 Hunter Henry reception.
not even a target.
6-leg parlay I had. Didn't even have. There was a play near the end of the first quarter on the Patriots' second last drive where he had Hunter Henry right in front. I'll pull up the clip. I'll dead ass pull up the clip. He had Hunter Henry right in front of him.
I don't think we can do that. We don't have copyright.
Whatever. Mentally, I'll pull up the fucking clip, and I'm playing it for you right now. He had Hunter Henry. All he had to do was, boom, right there, take the 5 yards. And instead, here's Drake May. Looking for something deep. And then you know what? Some Seattle players got his dick down his fucking throat for a sack. And there it is. That's it. It's disgusting. Gambling is just a disgusting thing. That's 3 plays that very easily could have gone the other direction.
Yeah.
The holding call was abysmal. That ruined my night. That was just a nightcap on a fucking dog shit pile of bets.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right, so who was the biggest loser of the Super Bowl? The Patriots, the Vikings, or Geno Smith?
You're just pulling these stats from other people now.
No,
I saw this on Instagram earlier. You stole this from some. You need to give credit to whoever put that out because that was already up somewhere.
No, it was just on Twitter.
Yeah, it was. I saw the post.
It's on Twitter.
I mean, come on. I saw it. You know who the biggest losers? The biggest loser is the Patriots. They lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
They lost the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody. I don't care about all these other posts that are like, oh, who did this? Who did this? No. Fuck that.
dude, Geno Smith, literally, his team won the Super Bowl. He got traded to the Raiders, and now he's lost his job, and he got Pete Carroll fired twice.
Okay, but if Geno Smith's still on the Seahawks probably don't win the Super Bowl this year.
You can't say that.
Okay, it's all hypothetical. You're gonna play out an 18-game season with a full round of playoffs hypothetically,
And the Vikings led the quarterback who was 28 and 6 in the regular season over the last 2 seasons.
Okay, yes, the Vikings should be upset. Yeah, they let Sam Darnold.
And I was talking to J.J. McCarthy.
Does that mean that the Vikings win the Super Bowl if they keep Sam Darnold? No, it's all hypotheticals. You can't be mad at that. You cannot be pissed off at the fact that they let Sam Darnold walk out the door and that he won the Super Bowl. Who won the Super Bowl for the Seahawks tonight? It was the defense. We've already been over this.
This is true.
We've already been over this. Yeah, they let Sam Darnold led the team to a 14-3 record, the number 1 seed in the NFC, and had no close game except for the Rams. That was it. So the loser of tonight is the New England Patriots. They lost the Super Bowl. There's no other. They didn't hypothetically lose the Super Bowl. They lost it. They were in the game, and they got shit kicked. They did. So
I guarantee you Geno Smith feels worse than some Patriots fans.
Geno Smith has gotten paid an assload of money to be the most subpar, consistent starting quarterback in the NFL.
His old team just won the Super Bowl.
Geno got paid.
He got replaced by Sam Darnold.
Geno and Sam. Actually, I just said that how often do quarterbacks bloom after that long? Geno Smith did it because Geno Smith was abysmal for the first couple years of his career. But how often are you that abysmal for that long and still sign a $100 million contract? Please tell me.
Kirk Cousins did it.
Cry me a fucking river.
Kirk Cousins did it.
Yeah.
And he's getting ready to do it again.
Kirk Cousins was not abysmal. Kirk Cousins was always...
Kirk Cousins is about to find himself in Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins was always a decent quarterback, though. He was always
what did
average.
He do? What was his best?
Kirk Cousins was always average to slightly above average.
Tell me Kirk Cousins' best career win. What playoff game?
Average to slightly above average. That's it.
He was a good quarterback. He didn't win nothing. There's no... name me one... Think to yourself. What is a memorable Kirk Cousins win?
How many quarterbacks can you name this season that were a better option than Kirk Cousins? You don't make it more than halfway down the list. We watched some shit quarterbacks this year. Yeah. So don't play this. I said average to slightly better.
We saw Phillip Rivers.
We saw Phillip fucking Rivers this year. So yes, Kirk Cousins, like I said, if you had Kirk Cousins as your quarterback, you know what you were getting into. You were going to be a fringe playoff contender, maybe win a playoff game, and you weren't getting to the Super Bowl. And you know what?
You think Sam Darnold's better than Kirk Cousins?
You know what the scenario that I just described? 28 other NFL teams. That's 28 other NFL teams. Your average is slightly above average. That's it.
Sam Darnold better than Kirk Cousins.
Right now or overall career?
Overall career.
Sam Darnold has a Super Bowl. I don't really think
right now.
Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
Nick Foles also has a Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl.
It's also hard to compare those two because their age difference. I mean, Sam Darnold's going to probably play in the league 4 to 5 years after Kirk Cousins retires.
Yeah.
So they're not really comparable right now. Kirk Cousins has been in the league a lot longer.
I'm just saying. You put Kirk Cousins on the Seattle team and they win the Super Bowl?
That's a great question, honestly. It's a great question.
It's food for thought. It's legit.
I think some people are still in denial of the fact that Sam Darnold has back-to-back 14-win seasons. How many quarterbacks can you name in the NFL that have had back-to-back 14-win seasons?
It was Tom Brady was the last one to do it.
I mean, you're getting into like that's elite quarterbacks that do that. That ain't no schmuck quarterback doing that.
So ask yourself the question: is Sam Darnold in the league?
We're going to save that discussion for another day. I'm not having that discussion right now.
He didn't even win the MVP. He didn't even win the MVP. And again, where the fucking...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think Sam Darnold cares?
No, I don't think
he does not
it's
give
a fucking piece of armor.
Shit. He won the Super Bowl. So anybody that has anything bad to ever say about Sam Darnold, he's a Super Bowl champion. At the end of the day, that is that. And you can't take that away from him. And that's our argument. But that's our argument with Eli Manning. And he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Yeah, people get shit on Eli Manning all they want, but you know what? He beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice.
More than Aaron Rodgers. More Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers. As many as his brother that people were saying are way better than him. All right. Real early look at next season. Right now, Seahawks and the Rams. Both plus 950 to win it. Our Giants are plus 7,000.
7,000?
7,000.
Must have moved. I heard on some podcasts earlier it was actually like...
Plus 7. I'm staring at the odds right now.
Those jumped then because they were like 15. They were like 100. They were like 150.
And New England last year at this time was plus 8,000. Seattle was plus 6,000.
Yeah.
So the Giants are
You know what
in the
I
mix.
don't like?
Giants are in the mix.
No, listen.
I may sprinkle.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like that the Patriots had this season, right, with the easier schedule. And they were really bad last year. They brought in a coach that set the culture. And the Giants are in the same exact scenario. 4-13. They're going to have a little bit of a softer schedule this year, although they play in a tough division. Brought in a coach that is setting the culture straight, second-year quarterback. I'm not getting my hopes up. I don't like the comparisons because this is also eerily similar to what the Bengals had with Joe Burrow when they made it to the Super Bowl. You know, brought in the coach,
terrible offensive line,
second year quarterback,
great defense.
By no means do I have any hope that the Giants maybe make a playoff push late in the season. Can I think the Giants can have a 7-10 year? Absolutely. That's what I'm looking forward to, just having more competitive football.
That's probably what New England fans were thinking right after last year's Super Bowl between the Chiefs.
Here's the question you have to ask yourself. Drake May was a legitimate MVP candidate this year. Do you really think Jackson Dart is going to be an MVP candidate next year? No, he's not going to be. He's not ready. He can't stay on the field for the amount of games.
Do you think people said that last year about Drake May? Do you think Drake May would be a legitimate MVP candidate?
Drake May was the number 3 pick in the draft. Jackson Dart was picked 25th or whatever pick he was. The expectations are not nearly as high. Let's face it. If you're a top 5 pick as a quarterback, you're expected to come out of the gates and be the franchise guy.
You know what? Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes 8 years. It takes 8 long years for a top 5 pick to win the Super Bowl. And that's just what we
Sometimes
saw.
they never do.
Bills are the favorite in the AFC, by the way. Patriots are second. But it's Ramsey Hawks. This has just got such this season recency bias.
This season caused for. This is the first going into the offseason where you're looking at the board and you have no idea who to pick. Because last year everybody was still, the Chiefs, right? Oh, the Bills. Oh, the Ravens. But when you go into the offseason this year, you're like, who the fuck do I pick?
The Bills.
Who is honestly...
Maybe.
Yeah, but the Bills lost in the second round this year. The Bills couldn't even get to the AFC Championship game with no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. That's what I'm saying. You're going into this season, you have no idea who's going to do what next year. And all this year did was make you think teams like the fucking Giants have a chance.
I know.
That's all it did.
But what I'm saying is, too, you know, it sounds really gross to me, and I had this horrible thought that crossed my brain. It was probably one of the scariest things I've had cross my mind in a long time. Dallas Cowboys.
No, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm serious.
Stop it.
I saw Dallas Cowboys' future, and for some reason, positively, I clicked on it, and I didn't place it, but I looked at it hard.
It doesn't matter because there's going to be so much shit in the NFL.
But I'm saying when it's this much of a muck of a season and so much shit is up in the air for the future of the NFL, what the league's going to look like, what does the NFL need? It needs that fucking star right back in the fucking Super Bowl.
No.
All right.
You've been saying that for 30 years.
Way early take. I don't know. I got a bad feeling. It was a horrible thought.
So that's your dark horse team for next year. If you're like, dark horse team, we're picking
dark horse team, Dallas Cowboys.
You know who my dark horse team is? Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Kevin Stefanski, good coach. Quarterback room could use improvement. Let's see what they do at quarterback. That obviously is a big, big piece of this. But they're so talented. Best running back in the league, Bijan Robinson. Drake London, outside.
Kyle Pitts is finally turning it up.
Kyle Pitts turning around. Atlanta's defense, well, they just had the situation with Pierce Jr. We're not going to bring that up. Defense, solid. They're going to work around the edges in the offseason. But they have always had the talent. They've always had the roster. They play in a weak division. They got the weaker schedule. Although the Panthers have made a slight bounce back. New Orleans will probably be a little bit better next year.
Bryce Young ain't doing shit.
That's my dark horse team. Do I think they're actually going to do anything?
I like it.
No, I don't. But they finally have a coach, which they have been
They were
lacking.
right there.
They had Atlanta literally. If Atlanta had a coach that was somewhat competent,
if they beat the Jets, they made the playoffs this year.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. The Bucks are. I think the Bucks are going to be
December.
fall off a little bit. this year. I don't know. We'll see. That's my dark horse team. Listen, I'm not saying they're going to do anything, but the day after the Super Bowl, it's always fun to fantasize. And I hope the Giants turn around.
Josh Allen is a Super Bowl MVP or the
MVP favorite.
MVP favorite
Obviously.
plus 550.
He's going to be him and Lamar are going to be
the
the MVP favorites of the league unless one of them gets hurt for the next 5 seasons.
Chiefs are not favored to win the AFC West for the first time in 9 years.
Oh yeah, the Broncos are a better team.
It's the Chargers.
The Chargers are favored?
The Chargers are favored to win.
That's disgusting.
Uh-huh. Yep.
They all got to be tight.
You said that Broncos. Yeah, it's tight. It's a bunch of...
What is it, like plus 340, plus 360?
I don't know. I was looking at it in the book earlier. I don't see it here now, though.
I mean, that's all got to be a crapshoot.
Division winner here, I'll tell you. It's AFC South. Where the fuck is it? Oh, right there. No, AFC West. I'm dumb. Chargers are plus 170. Chiefs are plus 175. Broncos plus 215.
What?
The Raiders plus.
That's not. None of those are worth any of those values. If it's that tight, why are the odds like that? That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, but Dallas is plus 280 winning the NFC East. Giants plus 700. Could be the move. Could be the move. I don't know.
If you're touching division winners right now, you're a sicko.
I have a 50,
You're disgusting.
I did this. So DraftKings ran a live. DraftKings, you should get sponsor us, but they ran a Live Millions promo, and I got a $50 bonus bet. That I don't really want to, because I don't want to bet on anything right now. I was thinking, so I want to throw it on a future. So I'm just kind of thinking about where to sprinkle it.
Pick something that's not a year away.
Why not? It's fun.
Yeah, but then you got to sit there and jerk your ass for a year.
Jerk my ass?
Yeah, why are you going to do that for a year? That doesn't make sense to me.
All right, well, you know what? Maybe I'll do it.
Put on a March Madness future or something. Put on a
March Madness future is the hardest thing to pick.
Crapshoot.
There's so many.
Put it on a team to make the Final Four. Put it on an NBA team to make the finals.
Knicks?
Don't put it on your own team. It's just miserable.
It is bad news.
Bad news Bears.
Bad news Bears.
Well, we managed to talk 48 minutes about a shit Super Bowl.
Well, we got to talk about one of the things that wraps up the season, and you mentioned it earlier. Peyton lost the Ultimate Trio.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Trio's finale, I won. Johnny came in second. Peyton dead last.
And he finished it on an offer. Which is,
yeah.
If you're going to go out, you might as well go out like that.
Went out.
Yeah, I mean, at least he picked tails off the rip to eliminate himself. I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
He was eliminated within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, well, he couldn't beat me out.
He could have tied.
Could have tied me, but then...
Which he would have covered the tiebreaker, which was Seattle minus 4.5.
But he didn't even get close.
He didn't even get a point.
So, Peyton, we apologize. But yeah, we explained the punishment already. Sad that Ultimate Trio's over. I can't believe it's been, what? I mean, we had 18 weeks.
Right? 24, 23.
3 rounds of playoffs. 3 rounds of playoffs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, 22 weeks, right?
Yep.
22 weeks of picks in the books. And I mean, I don't know. We should gather our overall records. I don't know if we could go back and do that, but that would be fun to
see how we did it.
See how we did.
We just have to go back and do some math. I mean, Peyton's got the spreadsheet.
We might mix it up a little bit next year. I like the format, though. It was fun to do.
I'm excited to see him eat some donuts and run some miles. And he should have to drink the sodas before he runs the miles.
Oh.
I'm also sad that he doesn't drink alcohol.
You can't drink a soda before you go on a run. You've obviously never gone on a decent run before.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
6.2 miles, the longest one I've ever been on.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good run. But did you drink a soda before?
Fuck no.
Exactly.
I didn't drink nothing. Maybe
That's literally calling for just burp city. That's like puke central right there.
So we're going to find out what his numbers are. He's coming off a torn ACL, so we'll see how it's coming. Who knows how much he's going to run.
We'll have content for that soon, too, as well.
Yeah, we're going to have some content coming out with that as soon as he gets into it.
I do have some videos. It was pretty funny seeing a guy in a Drake May jersey jump and go so crazy for an A.J. Bonner touchdown. That was great. That was good content.
That was a great clip.
I didn't clip that, unfortunately.
It's okay.
I was too busy shooting myself.
I got the video.
Nice. Good.
It's good.
Right, good.
We went nuts.
So, all right. Well, we'll wrap up this NFL season with the stink bomb. So what you got?
I mean, the sports betting was nice.
Abysmal.
Like that had to have been in one of the worst. But this also sucked. It was freaking a surprise birthday party for our aunt, right? Mm-hmm. And she was showing up at like 5 o'clock, right? For this surprise party. And we're in the car. We're on the way there. So we're going to make it on time to make it for like the whole way surprise. Did you make it? Were you there on time?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it too.
Yeah, I missed it.
But that's not the stink bomb. The stink bomb is why we missed it. We got 20 minutes down the road. My mom drops her beer all over the car.
Nice.
Soaked herself. We had to turn around all the way back. So I spent an hour in the car, missed a surprise, and that was right before game time.
Yeah.
I also was running off about 2 hours of sleep because I decided to go to the bars the night before.
Yeah, that was a bad decision.
Ended up on a bench, laying down, falling asleep.
No, not you. That was our cousin.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it was not good for the people.
I was out of there. I don't remember.
It was a brutal night going out. But I was exhausted, and then I had to sit in the car hungover for an hour.
My stink bomb was the run I went on the next morning after the bars.
How many miles you got?
Not far enough. I made it like 4.
And you were winded?
I called it quits.
So when you're running, you're just like, I'm just going to run until I don't feel like it anymore?
Just depends. Sometimes I have a goal, and sometimes I don't.
No, that's fine. I could be in the 60s here. It's been fucking freezing forever.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, one more stink bomb. Last week we got a snowstorm here, and they fucking didn't pick up any of the trash, because obviously the trash trucks aren't going to drive. So last night was trash day, and they're finally picking it up. I had to take 2 weeks of trash, and we're talking a pile.
We had a party here.
Because we had a party here Saturday, because the family was in town. We had a wedding. Dude, I had to take like 30 trash bags out there. Trash juice all over me. Then I took a picture, and I said, nice of Drake May to show up to North Carolina.
That's dog.
Coming
That's
home.
Shit. My stink bomb was our round of golf Saturday.
That was bad.
It was freezing. Like, I'm talking it was 38 degrees, but 35 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, that was
And
bad.
it felt like 15. It was so cold. And this is how bad I am at golf. Second hole of the day. You know, my first hole was dog shit. I come out with a triple bogey. Second hole of the day, I parred. Par 5. So I'm like, okay, I can live with this. This was on the third hole. And I'll put the picture up. I can insert the image here, too. I hit a water ball. It's, it's got, I've chunked it, whatever. 5-iron, pulled it, whatever. It was so cold that the water was frozen and my ball was sitting on top of the ice.
It was. It was on top.
It was sitting on top of the ice. And I couldn't get it because if I stepped on the ice, I went to go, I did a little ice step and my foot went right in the water. So I played the whole round with a soaked foot. But I eventually grabbed a flagstick and got my ball. But that's how bad it was. That's how I knew I should have just went home. But my lips got super chapped. I got cuts all over my hands because I got dry skin. And I never thought my stink bomb would be a round of golf. But it was that, and I stopped keeping my score at hole 14. I didn't even want to know what I was.
You shot 105, by the way. I was going to wait to tell you until we were on the podcast. I haven't seen you shoot 105 in a long time.
That's embarrassing.
105 is like for like an average golfer.
You know what? I'm going to blame it on conditions. Tough conditions.
I shot 88. That's garbage too.
Tough conditions.
That's garbage too.
We're going to chalk it up to tough conditions, and that's what we're going to do.
Garbage conditions.
So, all right. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed the NFL season with us. Sad that it's over. We're going to have some new content on the way because we got to fill the NFL gap. I am looking forward to getting to some NBA talk as well. NBA's heating up. Some March Madness.
You're all fired up.
We're getting into March Madness, so we're coming up on a good time of year. Yeah. Super Bowl's over. Only a couple weeks till March Madness. A couple weeks till spring. That's what we got to get to.
So it's almost been a year since we've been back at it.
I know.
It's great.
Crazy.
So
crazy how fast time flies.
Yep.
So
all right.
Cool. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for next week.
Peace.